How many times have you destroyed something important with a single impulsive reaction? A word spoken in the heat of anger, a yes you didn't mean to say, a purchase you knew you couldn't afford. You're not the only one. Millions of people live trapped in this cycle every day. They act before they think, speak before they reflect, make decisions that cost them dearly, and only realize the damage after everything's already broken. In the end, what remains is regret. That question, why did I do that? And the feeling of living in a constant battle against yourself. You want to change. You promise to change. But before you know it, you repeat everything again. Because the problem isn't what happens outside. It's what explodes inside. And what you're about to hear might be the beginning of your control over it. Have you noticed how fast everything happens? A trigger, an emotion, a reaction? And suddenly you find yourself saying things you didn't mean to say, taking actions that go against everything you believe in. It's like there's a version of you that grabs the wheel of your life when you least expect it. This cycle, stimulus, impulse, reaction, guilt, is an emotional addiction. And you'll only break it when you understand. Reacting isn't strength, it's weakness in disguise. Real power lies in pausing, observing, choosing. As long as you keep reacting automatically, you'll be a prisoner of your own feelings, and life will keep spinning without you at the wheel. What no one taught you is that silence is also an action. Waiting is also a decision, and self-control is victory. You were conditioned to believe you have to defend yourself, respond, prove your point, all the time. But self-mastery begins when you learn to stay silent, even when everything inside you wants to explode. When you dominate the urge to shout, to act on impulse, to justify, to attack. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about knowing that not every feeling needs to become movement. Not every anger needs to become words. Not every emotion needs to become action. Sometimes the greatest power lies in what you don't do. What no one taught you is that silence is also an action. Waiting is also a decision. And self-control is victory. You were conditioned to believe you have to defend yourself, respond, prove your point all the time. But self-mastery begins when you learn to stay silent, even when everything inside you wants to explode. When you dominate the urge to shout, to act on impulse, to justify, to attack. It's not about suppressing emotions. It's about knowing that not every feeling needs to become movement. Not every anger needs to become words. Not every emotion needs to become action. Sometimes the greatest power lies in what you don't do, and that takes courage. Courage to face yourself and ask, why do I act like this? What's controlling me? The truth is that behind every emotional explosion, there's an unresolved wound, an insecurity, a fear, a void. And unless you look at it, you'll keep being ruled by invisible triggers. You need to learn to listen to yourself, to understand yourself, to sit with your silence and face your shadows. Self-control isn't brute force, it's clarity. It's being able to notice what pulls you off balance before you explode. If you don't know yourself, you live at the mercy of what you feel. But if you observe yourself, you set yourself free. Some people think self-control is something you're either born with or not, that it's a personality trait. But it's not. It's training. It's a choice. Every single day. A 23-year-old guy lost 3 jobs in 2 years, always for the same reason. He exploded over everything, argued, raised his voice, said whatever came to mind. Then he regretted it, but the opportunity was already gone. Until one day he got tired of losing. He decided to stay quiet more. Breathe before speaking. Write down what he felt. Reflect. He got help. And today, he leads his own team. Because he understood the world didn't have to change. He did. And that changed everything. When you start mastering what you feel, something powerful happens. Your mind clears. You stop living in reaction. You begin to act with intention. And that changes everything. Your relationships improve. Your performance at work grows. Your inner peace strengthens. And you begin to truly respect yourself. Not because you control others, but because you've learned to control yourself. Self-mastery is the foundation of true freedom. Because those who are ruled by emotions are slaves to them. But those who learn to choose how they react are free. The world will still be unfair. People will still provoke you, but you will be unshakable. Now you need to decide, keep being reactive or become intentional. Keep blaming others or take back your power. You can keep living on emotional autopilot, or you can start today, creating a new version of yourself, calmer, firmer, more aware. A version that isn't guided by fear or anger or anxiety, but by clarity, by presence, by the wisdom to know when to speak, when to wait, and when to just breathe. The control you're looking for out there starts right here. Those who master themselves master everything. Because the hardest battle isn't against the world. It's against what sabotages you from within. The restless mind, the unchecked emotion, the sudden impulse. Winning that war is what changes your destiny. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to always be right. You just need to be stronger than your next impulse, more aware than your next reaction, because when you conquer yourself, you're ready to conquer anything. The world belongs to those who master themselves, and the power you've been searching for is already inside you. It's just waiting for you to learn how to use it. Perguntar ao Chat GPT.